Welcome on this very special day to Wesley Impact. I'm Keith Garner. I'd like to wish you and those near to you a very happy Christmas. Thank you for joining us on this Christmas Day episode of Wesley Impact. It's fair to say that 2020 has been a most unusual year, with many of our regular and annual events being postponed or cancelled due to COVID-19 pandemic. As I mentioned at Easter time early this year, and I'll reiterate the sentiment again today, the coronavirus may change the way we go about our lives, but it won't stop us celebrating and proclaiming God's love and purpose for us all. Behind me, people are getting ready for Christmas. They're chopping meat, they're preparing food. So on this Christmas day, I'd like to invite you to join with me and millions of people around the world who join together and celebrate the birth of Jesus. Christmas is a time when we generally stop for a while to consider the things that matter most. The main focus will remain on the birth of Jesus Christ. Nobody can take that away. It isn't just about lights and all the paraphernalia that so often is celebrated at Christmas. It's about the birth of a Saviour. The importance of each other and those who need help. And we're very conscious about that at Wesley Mission, reaching out to people in need. And Christmas is a time when we want to do that. It's about a love which breaks down barriers. Now, we've all talked about isolation during these past few months. Communities that are no longer are able to go. We even use the term lockdown. Well, we don't want to talk about lockdown. We want to talk about love into life and making it possible for people to be together. And the love that came at Christmas came to the most unlikely of people. And it was such a generous love. That love broke down barriers, but it also reached into people's lives. And as people celebrate the birth of Jesus around the world, it is unlikely people, the homeless, the needy, people who've got all kinds of reasons why they may not receive gifts, who can receive the greatest gift of all, which is the gift of Christ. As we reflect on this, now let me welcome somebody who's been with us as part of our team here at Wesley Mission for a long time, and she's certainly got a voice that we enjoy. So Deb Ezzy-Walton is going to sing for us. She's going to sing a carol called The First Noel. It was filmed in the Wesley Impact studio in 2017. But it's a carol that is popular, it's sung by many, and it points to the reality of the coming of Jesus. The first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds. Poor shepherds. Marvelous story, really. The unlikely people, the shepherds in the field, who came to see and know the gift of Jesus Christ.
To certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping all with one accord sing praises to our heavenly Lord that hath made heaven and earth of north, and with his blood mankind has bought. Sing Born is the King of
If you would like to learn more about Wesley Mission, visit wesleymission.org.au. You can find help in our community services, connect with our church and congregations, discover a volunteer role that suits you, stay up to date on the latest news and information, donate to support our work, and help make a positive difference in your community. You can also connect with us on social media and subscribe to receive the latest news and information about Wesley Mission directly into your inbox. Visit wesleymission.org.au.
The next carol that we've chosen is not just about the birth of Jesus, but about our moral commitment to care for the needs of the world. I don't know about you, but if I go to a carol service, I wonder what the theme is going to be of those carols. This is a very, very significant carol. It's a message which is as urgent today as ever it's been. We live in a very selfish, insular, closed-in world. And this carol just asks us to wake up and see the world for what it is. See the world in all its need and all its isolation. And maybe this Christmas, with all the COVID stuff that's everywhere you turn in terms of news stories, are there some good news stories that we could discern and hear if we're only prepared to? In fact, in this carol, it talks about stopping and hearing the song of the angels. Now, I think that really is a useful way of thinking about the message of Christmas. It requires on our part some attention, some willingness to stop where we are and just take in the message. Let it soak into our lives and all its implication and application. Now, this carol has its origins in the United States of America. And within a dozen years of this carol being sung and shared for the first time, there was a civil war. So you can see really that this carol would have a contemporary message and implication for many of the people who heard it in the earliest days. And carols have, as we know, always affected people. We have a carol that talks about the First World War, when you look back in history, how it's applied, because it stopped people from fighting each other and playing a game of football. That's really quite a strange thing to happen, but carols have that impact upon people. And we, like so many others, just need to stop, just need to give ourselves time, so that amidst all the warring factions of this world, of all the differences that so easily tear us apart, we just stop to hear what it is that the angels bring. And I want to hear the song that the angels are offering to the world, brought to poor people, brought at a time when they were hearing something, the first Noel we talk about. We talk about the reality in this carol about it came upon a midnight clear. And in all these carols, we're very conscious that there's a specific understanding that has a much greater application than just to the people who sing it in churches. Now, I'm going to ask now that you hear this carol, and perhaps for you, that you take its meaning in a fresh and new and wonderful way and understand how it can make a difference. We are ready to stop and hear the message of the angels. We are ready to let it sink in and spread it around more widely and more generously in the world in which we live. So I'm going to ask you now to welcome Alexandra Moss to sing it. It came upon the midnight clear. This was filmed in the studio also back in 2016, but its message is just as relevant today.
It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from His, O gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Still through the cloven skies they come with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Above its sad and lonely plains, they bend on hovering wing, and ever o'er its Babel sounds the blessed angel sings. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring Him born, the babe, the Son of Mary. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste to bring Him born, the babe, the Son of Mary. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring Him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary, the Son of Mary.
Experience the Galilee and the towns and cities where Jesus was raised and called his home. Capernaum, Nazareth, Tabgha, Magdala, Caesarea Philippi, Bethsaida, Tiberias, and of course the Sea of Galilee all feature in this 6-part series as Keith Garner explains the first century context of biblical events.
Jesus was born during a time of change in the political and economic leadership of this region. fisherman around a lakeside was really one of the big businesses. Why Jesus? Why didn't people ignore him? Why did they take him seriously? And what are the questions we should be asking today if we're going to take Jesus seriously?
The Man of Galilee is available now and comes with a study guide for leaders, small groups and individuals. For more, visit wesleymission.org.au.
Carols have their popularity, and I think in recent years, O Holy Night has become so popular. It's about the birth of a saviour. It really speaks with clarity about that issue which is at the centre of everything that we celebrate. It speaks about bridges, that so many of the things that divide people can be brought to naught and something new can happen as we come together as a people. It's actually a French poem, but the words are striking to people from all parts of the world. Till he appear. I always think that when I hear this song, when the words are till he appear, it changes everything. What he is, what he does, what he says makes a difference to this world. So those words are striking. And when he does appear, thank God he has in Jesus Christ. The world is different. He'll break the chains. And there are far too many chains. The chains that divide us, but the chains that hold us firmly in place. A world where people are locked into themselves. A world where there's inequality. A world where there's pain and suffering and loss and hurt. He'll break the chains and he'll allow us to be free. It's a marvellous world carol. I like the fact that it's come from a different part of the world, that this is the French tradition to it, because it's sung all over the world. It's specifically sung by people from some countries rather than others. We in the Life of Wesley Mission have a number of congregations who come to meet at regular times throughout the week. In fact, it's one of the things that I will always miss about Wesley Mission is the sheer sense of people coming from diverse places to be able to sing and celebrate the Christian faith. Whatever their language, whatever their tradition. If you came into the Wesley Centre on any given Sunday, and I hope you will one day, you'll find that we have many people that are enjoying what it is to be Indonesian, what it is to be Chinese, what it is to be people from a Pacific Island background. Now, one of the congregations that we have at Wesley Mission is our Wesley Samoan Congregation. And they were the group that actually came together to help us in the recording of this carol. They meet with us as a group, and always at Christmas time, enjoying the contribution that they make as they minister to other people. In 2017, their choir joined us in the studio to sing. And I really hope you're going to enjoy this. It's very special. And it's something that I think can make such a difference to your Christmas and mine. Oh, Holy Night. Let's enjoy it together, because in enjoying this carol, we might be lifted. And doesn't the world need lifting this Christmas? Hasn't it so easy to feel down and to feel despondent? And yet on that night where angels sang and where good news was spoken to the world, even to shepherds, there was something special for all of us. Now let's enjoy it. And if you can sing at home, nobody can be around to say you shouldn't sing. Sing at home and join in, Oh Holy Night.
Long lay the world in sin.
I hope you enjoyed this Christmas Day episode of Wesley Impact. Whatever today has in store for you, I'll encourage you to reflect on the real reason for this season, which is the coming of Jesus Christ, our Saviour. This is my final Christmas with you at Wesley Impact. I'd like to thank you for being part of this time as I've hosted the programme and met so many of you, and invite you to join us this coming Sunday on Wesley Impact as I continue my conversation with Simon Marnie, reflecting on my time at Wesley Mission over 15 years. I close with a dear friend Sarah Toth, singing "Rejoice, the Lord is King." Thank you again, and God bless you.